What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some more triple ghost action in the Holiday Cup, this time submitted to the channel by CutlassBoy68839, who's running Shiny Shadow Sableye, which is still running Frustration, by the way, presumably caught very recently, so I hope we do see some Frustration BMs, as well as Purified Dusclops and Palossand. With Vigoroth being the strongest Pokemon in the meta, there are quite a lot of double ghost teams because Vigoroth does struggle quite a lot against the ghosts, and Sableye is going to be the ghost that beats all the other ghost types, so it does also look very strong. With that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What do you think is the best looking shiny shadow Pokemon? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead Shiny Shadow Sableye into Altaria. Now, of course, typically you would run Power Gem on your Shadow Sableye. I assume that this Sableye was caught very recently and they haven't been able to TM away Frustration yet, but we're going to go for a Foul Play into the Lantern coming in. Of course, Palossand has a positive matchup there, but serves to do a lot of damage. Since we are so far ahead on energy, we're actually going to grab a shield and deal big damage up against the Lantern. They go for a Surf, we can now outpace them to the next charge move. And looks like we're happy to just stay in with our Shiny Shadow Sableye, go for the Foul Play, taking out the Lantern, and now we can align our Purified Dusclops up against the Altaria, and Ice Punch is going to hit for massive double super effective damage. We can easily tank a Sky Attack here, so we're going to let the first move go through, go for the Ice Punch, the opponent not able to make a catch there, so Ice Punch will be shielded, grabbing the final shield, and now we can also let the next move go through as well. Sky Attack still doesn't take us out, the opponent goes for the catch there, and I think we should have swapped out, but we end up throwing the Ice Punch, which is resisted. Doesn't really matter. I think we should still be fine here. We just safely shield up the Avalanche. We can now overfarm in this matchup. We're only going to overfarm just slightly there. It doesn't really matter too much. Altaria is energy dry. Shadow Ball takes out the Frost Sass, and now all we need to do is make it to another Shadow Ball, and this should be enough damage to take out the Altaria. Actually, no, it barely doesn't, but a couple more Mud Shots does the job, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see Vigoroth in the lead. So Vigoroth actually, I think, does barely beat the Shadow Sableye. Well, at least it beats regular Sableye with Rock Slide, so I'm not sure if that's the same for the Shadow Sableye, but we're going to land the Foul Play, swap into our Dusclops, and the opponent tries to catch an Elemental Punch. We hold on to the energy, full sending the return, that does big damage to the Lantern. And now we can very easily tank any move they throw. They go for the Surf, and with the Spark damage, a second Surf probably will be enough damage to take us out, but we go for the return, grabbing a shield from the opponent, and at this point, it looks like we're happy to take the shield advantage here. Gonna let Dusclops go down, Surf will be taking us out. And now we're going to come back in with our Shiny Shadow Sableye. They do make it to another charge move, so we're going to shield this up as the opponent goes for another Surf. And they are now going to swap and try to combo play with the Vigoroth. We're going to use our final shield, shielding the Rock Slide, and now we can align our Palossand up against the Vigoroth. It doesn't matter how much energy they've got. It looks like we're going to go for a massive Mud Shot farm down, and if we can, we will come out with 100 energy. So that's looking really good for us. They go for Rock Slide number 2, doesn't do much damage. We have 100 energy, so let's see what the opponent has in the back. The opponent comes in with a Ho-Oh. We go for the Scorching Sands there. I think we might have panicked, maybe just going for that charge move. And now the opponent makes a really nice catch, catching the Shadow Ball onto the Lantern there. But we can now swap into our Shiny Shadow Sableye, go for a Foul Play, and Foul Play is going to do huge damage to the Ho-Oh. The opponent lets it go through. Obviously, they've got no shields remaining. What am I talking about? But we are able to Shadow Claw, farm them down, and take that game. Although I do believe they had a Brave Bird there, so I'm not sure why they didn't throw, but into the next game, we're going to see Skeledirge in the lead. The opponent safe swaps into Dugong, and we don't really have a response. We're going to catch the move onto Dusclops, but that's not ideal because they can Icy Wind debuff us, and they will also make it to a second Icy Wind before we make it to return. So by the time we throw our charge move, we're going to be 2 stages debuff, so it's not going to threaten a shield, it's not going to do too much damage, and as well, the opponent will be able to outpace us to the next charge move. We go for the Ice Punch here, I don't think there's any point in throwing Ice Punch because they can safely no-shield that, potentially go for the full farm down. They actually don't commit to the farm down there, which is fortunate, but they've probably got 2 Icy Winds loaded, so still not ideal. We come back in with the Sableye, and we are going to let the move go through. They go for Icy Wind, doesn't do too much damage, and we can get the farm down. And the opponent's got a Lantern in the back, so we should be swapping out immediately because I don't see the point of throwing a charge move here. It's not going to do much damage. We were debuffed, and as well, Palossand can very easily take on the Lantern with a shield advantage, and if they swap back into their Skeledirge, we can also take that out with the Palossand. So yeah, not really sure about that play, but we go for the Scorching Sands, grabbing the final shield. They come in with the Skeledirge. We could have overfarmed more than that, but we go for the Shadow Ball, taking out the Skeledirge, and honestly, we probably can still live a Surf from this range, so we might choose to no-shield the first one. We do no-shield it, and we do live it. We make it to the Scorching Sands, and this will be enough damage from this range to take out the Lantern, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we see a Charger Bug in the lead. So once again, would be nice if we had Power Gem, but honestly, we're probably just going to go straight Foul Play anyways because they're probably going to shield the first charge move. They go for the X-Scissor, we're going to shield that up, go for the Foul Play, and Foul Play is going to be no-shielded by the Charger Bug. So we swap into our Dusclops, we catch what should be another X-Scissor, which is resisted by the very bulky Dusclops, doesn't do much damage. They also don't swap out, and they come in with Altaria, so that's the reason why we've got Ice Punch. Ice Punch is going to do huge damage, double super effective damage to the Altaria, does over half their health. We make it to another Ice Punch before the opponent can make it to a charge move, and Ice Punch grabs the first shield from the opponent. Now we probably do still live this. Can we make it to another Ice Punch? Yes, we can. And this might grab the final shield. They might just let it go through, but no, they do end up shielding up. That's fine with us. We come in with the Sableye, we can overfarm just a little bit, they would be very close to a charge move, so we go for the Foul Play, taking out the Altaria, and they've got a Lantern in the back, and once again, not sure why we're staying in here for so long, because now they can possibly make it to back-to-back Surfs, but it doesn't matter, we do at least still have one shield remaining, so gonna let the move go through here. The first one isn't gonna do too much damage, and we can make it to the Scorching Sands. We're actually choosing not to throw. I don't know if we're going to go for like the Shadow Ball or, yeah, okay, we're going to go for the Shadow Ball BM here, just because we can. Shadow Ball will be taking out the Lantern, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, see Lantern in the lead this time around, so probably just going to stay in, go for the Foul Play immediately as the opponent reaches the Surf, but the opponent doesn't throw straight away, so Foul Play does a ton of damage. They come in with Vigoroth, and I really like this play, bank a Foul Play and then come in with our Palossand because we absolutely wall it here. Rock Side, really not going to do too much damage. We can go for a Scorching Sands, and Scorching Sands should get this Vigoroth fairly low. I still don't think they're quite in range for us to Mudshot farm them down, so we might get to 100 energy before throwing our next charge move. They actually throw too soon for another Rock Side, I believe. Yeah, it's just a Body Slam, so we do tank that, and it looks like we're going for the farm down, but we don't quite get it there, so yeah, I don't think there was any point going for the farm down because now we've got so much energy, but I don't think we're even going to make it to 2 charge moves here. They come in with a Trevenant, we go for Scorching Sands, and actually we could have got off a second Scorching Sands because I guess the Shadow Claw didn't go through when they came in, but it wouldn't have mattered since it is resisted anyways. But now we come in with the Dusclops, we can let this move go through, of course. They go for a Thunderbolt, that does a decent amount of damage here. We're going to overfarm massively, go for an Ice Punch just before the opponent makes it to another Thunderbolt. Ice Punch grabs the final shield. Honestly, I probably would have just not thrown my charge move here and then come in with the Sableye and farm down because now the opponent, Ice Punch is not going to be enough damage to take out the Trevenant. They will get a very nice farm down there. And now I think Trevenant also wins the CMP tie up against the Sableye. Is this already a Shadow Ball? No, it's just a Seed Bomb. We barely lived that with 1 HP and a Dream. And Foul Play will easily take out the Trevenant. And we're able to take that game. But that was a very risky end game there. Quite lucky to win that. But into the next game we see a Sableye mirror match. We're going to choose not to throw straight away, going to go for the extra Shadow Claw, and now at this point they should be in Foul Play range. So we're going to go for the Foul Play. Does the opponent use the shield? Yes, they do. Of course, we got 2 Ghost types in the back, so not ideal for us. We kind of need to take out the Sableye from the opponent's end, and here we're going to go for that Foul Play. Do they double shield as well? They do double shield. I think at this point we're just you know, take the loss, but no, we're actually going to swap into our Dusclops, tank the foul play, bank our own foul play, and the opponent comes in with a Lantern, so they are going to let us make it to a return, so that's actually really good for us because this should put them into range where we can go for a foul play on our Sableye and take them out. So let's see, they go for the surf there. We come in with the Sableye, but we don't get off the charge move. The charge move didn't even pop up for us, so that is really unfortunate. Now we come in with the Palossand, and we go for the Scorching Sand straight away. This will be taking out the Lantern. Just depends, what do they have in the back? Lantern goes down to the Scorching Sands. And they've got a double in the back, so this is looking quite tricky. Payback is going to do huge damage to the Palossand if they are running it, but if they're running Body Slam and Wild Charge, we should actually be looking pretty good. But the opponent makes a big mistake there. They swap out for some reason, I actually don't know why. Now we can go for Scorching Sands, number 2. It still doesn't quite take them out. I guess maybe we debuff their attack, but they go for Body Slam there, so clearly not running the payback there, and we're able to take that game. So into the next battle, we're going to see Altaria in the lead. So once again, would be nice if we had Power Gem, but we'd probably just bait them anyways because Power Gem is a lot of energy. Foul Play still does a ton of damage. We're now going to swap, tank the move onto our Dusclops, just using it as a damage sponge. They go for Dragon Pulse, which is a bit unnecessary since it doesn't do much more damage than a Sky Attack would, and it does cost a bit more energy. But we can go for the Ice Punch, taking out the Altaria, and the opponent comes in with Raichu, which is quite a spicy pick for the Holiday Cup. We're now going to go for a return, and return grabs a shield from the opponent. We can now just come in with the Palossand, and they're probably running Trailblaze because it did get it this season, but they bait with a Thunder Punch. Definitely not the right play. And the opponent this time still goes for a Thunder Punch, so I don't know what they're running as their other move, but they then come in with a Fire Spin Talonflame, which is definitely not the right play. Incinerate is going to be much better than Fire Spin for the Talonflame, but it is a Community Day move. We did just have the December Community Day thing, so you probably could have evolved it, or actually don't know, was Talonflame one of the Pokemon you could have evolved? I don't know. I didn't even play the Community Day at all because I didn't really care. But we're going to go for the Foul Play. Foul Play takes out the Raichu, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, we see Skeledirge in the lead, so the opponent probably going to swap out eventually, but no, they're actually choosing to stay in. We can just go for that Foul Play, and the opponent might go for a Disarming Voice straight away, so we're going to actually swap into our Dusclops, catch the charge move here, and the opponent did go for Disarming Voice, so that doesn't do too much damage. It is neutral. The opponent comes in with a Alolan Graveler, which is not ideal because they do resist return. We have to just go straight Ice Punch, and Ice Punch, you can see, when it's not double super effective up against Altaria, really doesn't do much damage. The opponent goes for a Rock Blast. We can now go for Ice Punch number 2. Ice Punch still not going to grab a shield from the opponent, but if they go for the Farm Down, we might have made it to a third Ice Punch. So the opponent does throw their energy. Rock Blast will be taking us out, and now we can come in with our Palossand. Well, actually, okay, I don't know why we did that. Okay. We are just going to let the move go through though, because Rock Blast is going to be resisted damage. We can get the Mudshot Farm Down. And the opponent has a Vigoroth in the back, so they are incredibly weak to Palossand. We can go straight for the Scorching Sands here, and Scorching Sands is going to not debuff their attack, but it doesn't really matter. We can easily tank a Rock Slide, not going to do much damage. We've seen it several times throughout the video. We are still going to let the next move go through here as the opponent goes for a Body Slam, which is double resisted. We farm to 100 energy. I think we actually went quite a lot over there, but it doesn't really matter. Scorching Sands takes them out. We come back in with our Shadow Sableye, and we should just be able to fully Shadow Claw, farm them down from this range. But oh yes, we are finally going for the Frustration BM, and Frustration grabs the final shield from the opponent there, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, we see Skarmory in the lead, so not the best matchup for us, not the worst either, fairly neutral. We're going to go for a Foul Play. I think we threw after 8, so this should potentially be a CMB tie with a Brave Bird, so we're going to shield this up. The opponent is going to go for a Sky Attack bait. That's fine with us. I don't think we can quite farm them down. Actually, we can farm them down there. Okay, that's pretty good for us. They're going to come in with a Vigoroth, so we're going to go for a Foul Play, and we might eventually swap into our Dusclops, and that's exactly what we do now. Is the opponent going to bank a ton of energy once again? They are going to throw some of the energy here, as they're going to go for a Body Slam for some reason. I don't know why. They then come in with Arctibax. We're going to full send the return here. Return does big damage to the Arctibax. They make it to a Dragon Claw, but we can safely let this move go through. We will be able to make it to an Ice Punch before the opponent can get to another charge move or farm us down. So do they shield the Ice Punch here? No, they let it go through, and that's going to be game over for the opponent. They just don't know it yet because we've got a Palossand in the back, absolutely able to hard wall the opponent here. Are they just going to concede the match? No, they're going to try and play it out. There's not a lot of hope for the opponent. They even go for another Body Slam bait. I'm not sure what they're doing. I don't know if maybe they've just never seen a Palossand before, but this is an absolutely awful matchup for them. And now we're going for the BM Shadow Ball. It looks like we've just been credited with the win as the opponent concedes the match there, and we're able to take that game. Internet's going to see Pelipper in the lead, and I've said a few times, like up against the flying types, it would be nice to have Power Gem, but in this matchup, I assume Foul Play is probably the way to go just because it probably takes them out anyways. But the opponent going to go and swap into their Vigoroth, so we're going to go for a Foul Play, back the energy once again, come in with the Palossand, and we might go for the aggressive Mud Shot Farm Down once again. And once again, they're going for Body Slam. I am not sure why, but the next move coming through going to be Brick Break, and that is why they went for Body Slam because Brick Break is also double resisted, but an even worse move. And now they go for Body Slam once again. We can very easily get the Mud Shot Farm Down here, and they do make it to another charge move, but that's fine. We're going to come out with 100 energy, and we will have enough health here where we can actually fire off both charge moves this time around. So let's see what the opponent wants to come in with. They come in with Pelipper, and we're going for a Scorching Sands bait. I'm not so sure about that, but we do grab the shield anyways, debuffing their attack, and we make it to the Shadow Ball. And Shadow Ball, if it goes unshielded, takes out the Pelipper, and they've got a Bomber Snow in the back. So we should be looking pretty fine here. We come in with our Dusclops, presumably just going to tank the energy, go straight for a return. No point in going for Ice Punch here, and if they showed it up, that's fine. We can just swap into our Sableye. So here we go for the return, and return is going to be no shielded by the opponent. So now we swap into our Sableye. We can shield this up and go for the Shadow Claw Farm Down, and we will very easily be able to take out the Abomasnow here, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, we see Trevenant in the lead, so a pretty good matchup for us. Trevenant would be pretty good against our backline, so the opponent going to swap into Gligar, and once again, I don't see the point in throwing here. We've got Dusclops, which can hit for double super effective damage with the Ice Punches. Sure, stay in with the Sableye for a while, get some Shadow Claw damage off, because then we will put them into Ice Punch range. But now, they're so low that throwing Ice Punch just seems pointless, because it would have taken them out from, like, well over half their health here. But we go for the Ice Punch, and Ice Punch will of course be taking them out, but they use their shield. We're going to go for Ice Punch number 2. This might grab the final shield. No, the opponent does let it go through, but now we're in range where the Trevenant can just fully Shadow Claw farm us down, which is not ideal for us, even though we can hit full super effective and only take neutral damage on our Sableye. A Shadow Ball would probably take us out from this range, so we're going to use our shield. They bait with a Seed Bomb, and they're going to stay in with the Trevenant. We do overfarm just slightly, going for a Foul Play, and the opponent lets the Trevenant go down. They've got Jellicent in the back, and we're going to bank the Foul Play, swap into our Palossand. I do like this play because now we can just go straight for the Shadow Ball, and if the opponent does use their shield, we can take them out with a Foul Play anyways. But Shadow Ball coming through, the opponent no shields it, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, another Altaria in the lead. So once again, probably going to go for a Foul Play, and then eventually try and swap into our Dusclops and tank a charge move. Foul Play will be shielded by the opponent. We did farm up to a potential Power Gem that time around, so it does make sense for the opponent to use their shield. We now swap into Dusclops. They go for Moonblast, and that does a decent amount of damage. They then come in with Vigoroth. We're just going to go straight for the return here. Return will do big damage to the Vigoroth. It does over half of their health there. And I assume we just let this move go through as the opponent going to go for Rock Slide. It still doesn't quite take us out, but they do get the counter farm down. But once again, doesn't really matter. We can come in with the Palossand and just very easily sponge anything they throw. They go for Rock Slide, doesn't do much damage. This time we might actually not go for the farm down yet. I do agree with this because otherwise we get very low. And with a Pokemon like Altaria, which can just Dragon Breath farm us down, that's not a good position to be in. But here we're going to go for the Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball is going to do big damage to the Altaria. They shield it up, so we swap back into Sableye. We make it to a Foul Play, and Foul Play from this range will take out the Altaria. The opponent has a Lantern in the back. We've got 2 shields remaining, so even though they can hit for super effective damage with the Surf, it doesn't matter. We can shield both Surfs up, go for back-to-back Scorching Sands. Actually, we don't even need to. We can just shield this up, go for the Mudshot farm down, and we will be able to take that game. Okay, the opponent going to throw both their charge moves just to waste our time. Doesn't really matter. Mudshot takes out the Lantern, and we take that game. Into next game, another Vigoroth in the lead, so once again, probably just going to go for that foul play. The opponent actually just going to throw their charge move immediately, so Body Slam really not going to do much damage whatsoever. We can now overfarm, go for the foul play, throw on the CMP tie with the next Body Slam. And I don't know why they're going for Body Slam here. I guess maybe they're also running Brick Break, but that's definitely not the play. Body Slam not going to do much damage. We're now going to swap into our Dusclops, and the opponent comes in with their Lantern. So we go for a return straight away. Return, as we've seen already, does about half of their health to the Lantern. A second return will threaten to KO, and we've already got a shield advantage here, so we don't have to shield this up. The opponent goes for a Thunder, not a Thunderbolt, not a Surf, but a Thunder, which is interesting. We're going to go for a return, and return takes out the Lantern. They come back in with the Vigoroth. It doesn't look like we're making it to another return, so we go for the Ice Punch, and Ice Punch will be shielded by the opponent there, so a lot of interesting plays by the opponent. We now come in with the Palossand, and the opponent is once again going to go for Body Slam, and now they swap into Venusaur. We're going to go for a Shadow Ball here just because if we swap into our Sableye and we don't make it to a charge move, that would not be ideal, but actually we already had a foul play loaded anyway, so it didn't really matter here. We take out the Venusaur, and the opponent is just going to concede the match there as we still had 2 shields, and we're able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.